Michael Carrick's 4-2-3-1 versus Oliver Glasner's 3-4-3, United's lack of ability to create width, especially in the first half, and Bruno Fernandes' ability to be absolutely everywhere on the football pitch. We're going to break it all down right here in this video. Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1. Michael Carrick's Manchester United gets another massive 3 points, and slowly but surely really starting to ask the question, should he be Manchester United's permanent manager? But that is a conversation for the summer. This video is specifically for breaking down what we saw in the game between Manchester United and Palace, and that is exactly what we are going to do right here, right now. So it definitely wasn't the best start for Manchester United, in my opinion, in the first few minutes of the game. I felt like there was almost a bit of a panic. They knew the importance of the game at hand. They knew what a win could do for them. They knew that the 3 points against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford can get them to third in the Premier League. And it felt a little bit touch and go. It felt a little bit as if United didn't really have the quality on the day. And as teams do in the Premier League, if you're not at it from the start, they will make you pay. And that is exactly what Crystal Palace did in the first 5 minutes of this game. United concede a corner, and from that corner, Lacroix puts it in a really difficult spot for Laments to get to it. None of United players can clear it. But I've mentioned this for a while now. I think Lenny Euro has an abundance of quality, and I think Lenny Euro is going to be a top center half. Hopefully that is with Manchester United. But I think there have definitely been times this season where he has shown his age. I think sometimes we forget he's as young as he is. And this is just really poor from him, from the set piece. It is way too easy for Lacroix to create that little bit of separation. And to be fair to Lacroix, again, it is a good header, but you just can't be letting your man completely free off of a pretty routine set piece. And within the first few minutes of the game, Manchester United are down 1-0. And I thought it was pretty interesting when United were defending against Palace's build-up. Most times what I was seeing was Bruno kind of peel off to the left side, Cunha more so peel off to the right side. Obviously, United under Carrick have mostly defended in a 4-4-2 with Casemiro and Kobe as the two mainstays in midfield. And I think that Carrick did this because out of the two wingbacks, Daniel Munoz is definitely the one out of the two that was going to create more problems for United through the wide channels. And I think it has been made pretty obvious that Bruno Fernandes is going to do a lot more work defensively, a lot more running, off the ball for Manchester United than Matheus Cunha will. And I think that was just a little detail that I caught on while watching Palace trying to progress through the first phase into midfield. Now, this, again, for me, is where the problems start. And I think this has been a little bit of a consistent under Michael Carrick's time at Manchester United. So Palace go to play through the lines here. And I think what stands out to me most when I watch United sometimes, especially with the midfield two of Cass and Kobe, is sometimes they can be a little bit slow going from side to side when teams are shuffling the ball from side to side, and sometimes they can kind of get pulled out and then that pass in between the lines is on. I think here Sesko is very much covering Wharton. He's screening the pass into Wharton. So I think Kobe should really kind of pick up on that trigger that Sesko is pressing him to the right side. And he should do a little bit of a better job, in my opinion, to get over, screen the pass into that space. Bruno as well could potentially tuck in a little bit because, you have to protect the central passes first. Let them have the ball all they want in those wide areas. You can close them down. You can use the touch line. But as soon as they get the ball in behind your midfield with one pass, he's taken out Kobe, Bruno, Sesko, Casemiro all in one pass, and it leads to this specific moment here. And this is really not a good moment for Manchester United to be in, all because United aren't defending the way that they should. The midfield is slow to get over. They're not picking up on the pressing cues from the strikers. And if there is a little bit more quality, you could argue, in this moment here, it's a 3v3, never something you want to see from the defensive side of the ball. It could be an issue. Palace could go up 2-0 here, and then there are some real question marks Fortunately, United defended quite well, but I think, again, I try to be as objective as possible. I don't always think when you lose games that necessarily means that you've performed poorly, and I don't always think when you win games that necessarily means you've performed brilliantly. I think there has to be some context, and I try to provide that in this channel. So just a little bit of a challenge, if you will, for Michael Carrick to try and correct. And I'm not necessarily sure if he can correct it with the profiles that he currently has, but it is something that I have seen kind of become a trend in the last few weeks. And it is worrying because these aren't necessarily good positions for your defense to be in. And again, I'm not trying to be negative here because it's a huge 3 points. And I said in my match reaction that the results are more important than the performances for the rest of the run, in my opinion, for the season. But I think that this game showed very much that there are still holes in the side, particularly when I speak about profiles, because this isn't just a nitpick. This isn't just me choosing one specific still from this game. This was a consistent thing. Mateus Cunha is not a left winger. He is not a wide player. He likes to occupy more central spaces. He likes to be close to Bruno, be close to Kobe, be close to Ben, be close to Mbumo, connect 1-2 passes, get him behind, try and score goals. He is definitely more so a half space player. He is not a wide player. And United really lacked the width in this game, in my opinion, especially when Palace would push their two wing backs back. They would sit in that flat 5-4-1 and defend. We know that Glasner can set his team up really well to defend, and I felt like United's lack of having that 1v1 specialist on the outside to be able to give the ball to and run at a fullback or run at a wingback was really made evident, especially in these moments here. I mean, just look at the massive space and pocket that is out here wide, and Cunha does eventually make the run out wide, but he's not comfortable in those wider positions. We know that Cunha is a player who likes to pick up the ball in those central areas, and I think that has to be a huge point of focus for the recruitment team in the summer, is to go out and bring in a winger that can really unlock a defense when they're very compact. They sit in that block and they make it very tough for United to play through them centrally. Again, you can see it here. Look how close Cunha is to Sesko. In this moment, it's fine because Maguire has gotten the ball out to Euro. United are looking to progress. You see Bruno out there in the right channel. But once again, Cunha has shown that these are the areas he likes to play in. This central pocket. He wants to be as close to the number 9 as possible, as close to the attacking midfielder as possible to connect in those little tight pockets. Him and Kobe are both, I would say, tight space players because they can play in those little tight areas. They're very good with their feet in tight spaces, but you need a player who's going to play wide, and I felt like these were moments. I didn't clip all of them because we would be here all day, but again, a moment here where you can see that these are more so the areas in which Cunha likes to play in. But having Mbumo, who also isn't a out and out wide player, I think it really makes the side unbalanced. It makes it a little bit more difficult for Sesko as the 9 because Palace can play really compact and make it very difficult for Sesko to find any pockets of space. So I think, again, this was a big issue in the first half and kind of led to a lot of United's problems in terms of trying to break Palace down. But as I always say, football is a game of quality. Football is a game for footballers. It is not a game for analysts and coaches, although they are obviously very important. At the end of the day, the players have always and will always make the difference. Bruno here just does a really good job of finding Cunha in this space. He has pinned Lacroix, but I want to shout out Casemiro here because you can see him rotating out wide. What does that do? What does that do in terms of what we just spoke about in the previous still image? Was it forces the Palace center half to step out, because although Casemiro isn't Neymar in his prime, not going to get the ball out wide, drive at a defender, do a couple of step overs and get a ball in the box, you still have to be wary that there's a free man in that channel, which leads Cunha to a 1v1 with Lacroix, a good position for Cunha to be in. Again, these are the areas in which Cunha, in my opinion, is most dangerous, when he's close to the striker, when he's playing in those tight spaces. Bruno does a really good job of finding Cunha. And like I said in my match reaction, and I want to know everyone else's opinion as well, do you think this is a penalty? Now, for me as a Manchester United fan, I'm going to take it all day. But again, I try to be as objective as possible in every single thing I speak about, especially when it comes to football. For me, if this is a penalty given the other way, I'm probably a little bit furious. Not because it's not a foul, because it's absolutely a foul. And I think that the ref does a really good job of making the right decision in terms of sending Lacroix off. But I don't necessarily know if it's a penalty, because I know that the argument will be that the contact kind of follows into the box, but in my opinion, it doesn't. Now, if you have a different perspective or opinion, please let me know. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, super happy and not going to complain. We'll take those every single day of the week. We have had some pretty bad calls go against us this season as well, so I'll take them where they come. But I'm not really sure if it's a penalty, but we take it. Bruno Fernandes steps up, puts it away, and United are back at level terms. But as soon as that ball goes in, Bruno goes, picks it up, because we still have a job to do. We still need to score another one. We still need to secure 3 points. And like I spoke about in the beginning of the video, Bruno's ability to be everywhere on the pitch, to me, just amazes me. And the little pockets of spaces he finds himself in, again, he is just incredible. So this ball gets played in between the lines. And for me, as soon as this ball gets played into Bruno, this should be a cue for Cunha. I need to make this run in behind, because I know how Bruno thinks. He is going to flick this on and he is going to progress us forward. That's exactly what Bruno does. He flicks it into Sesko. And in my opinion, again, here, Cunha is caught a little bit flat-footed. I would like for Cunha to pick up on the cue that once Bruno gets into these little positions here, he's either going to flick it out to Ben, he's going to flick it to Mbeumo. I need to be able to attack the box. Bruno just does a really good job of picking up those quiet areas on the pitch, I call them, and being able to open up and find the spaces where he's needed the most. And this little passage of play, in a nutshell, is why I love Bruno Fernandes as much as I do. And yes, I love Bruno Fernandes. So here he tries a little pass into Cunha. Cunha's making the later run into the 18, and there is a little bit of space, but it's a little bit too far out of Cunha's reach. United get the ball back. Now, Bruno could say, you know what, I just tried a pass, it didn't come off, I'm just going to recycle play, let Cunha get back into an onside position, and we can go again. But no, because Bruno is who he is, he likes to be the guy that will attempt the risky pass because he has the quality to pull it off. And again, here in this pocket of space, he sees Sesko in the 18, just waiting for a delivery that the striker has needed all game. And Bruno, he just delivers. And I mean, a couple of things here. It's an incredible ball from Bruno Fernandes. Again, the quality, the mindset to, again, get the ball back just after he's lost it, but I want to go and play that final pass again. And for Ben, just to be in this position here, to get goal side of his number 9, to be the more hungry of the two, to get up, leap, his athleticism. I've said it time and time again. Benjamin Sesko, for me, has the tools to be one of, if not the best number 9 in the world. He has it all. And I am so happy, he gets rewarded to start after 2 really good substitute appearances, and he gets rewarded with the huge match-winning goal. And this isn't really anything to do with tactically analyzing the game, but this is just, again, watching Bruno Fernandes just makes me enjoy football. When I was watching this live, when Bruno kind of winds up in his body position here, I'm thinking, is this guy going to strike this ball? I know he's crazy sometimes in the actions that he does, and he tries everything, but there's no way this guy's about to volley this ball and try and go for goal. I didn't even notice Mbeumo. I knew he just took a corner, but I didn't even notice Mbeumo on the right side. He absolutely pings it to Mbeumo. And I mean, that is, again, that's not me tactically analyzing anything, but that just goes to show the quality that Bruno Fernandes has. And I'm just so happy he plays for United. And United cannot let this guy leave in the summer. Give him whatever he wants. Shout out to Rio Ferdinand. Give him what he wants. Put it on the table. Bruno Fernandes has to retire as a Manchester United player. So like I said, was it perfect? No. I think there were large parts in this game that showed real issues for Manchester United. I think the lack of mobility in midfield is one of them. I think the fact that United don't have the width that they need to break down deeper blocks consistently is another one. I think Lisandro Martinez, again, is a big miss because we don't necessarily have that progressor in the back line, although I thought Maguire and Euro did a pretty good job of it today. They definitely don't have the same level of quality when it comes to progressing the ball as Lisandro Martinez does, and I think United would do well to go out into the market in the summer and to bring in a strong ball progressing center half. But it is 3 points. Michael Carrick has done an absolutely incredible job. Subscribe if you are enjoying the content. Remember to hit the bell notification as well so you never miss an upload. We will be dropping our Champions League round of 16 predictions as well. So make sure that you give that one a watch. I appreciate everybody for watching. I'll chat to y'all again very soon. Until next time, peace.